This video is going to introduce to you a different type of loop, and this is called do while. So what I do here is I'm just going to put some comments in do while loop. And what this should hopefully help you understand is how to do iteration that carries out the transaction before it checks the condition. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up an integer as 0. All right. So I've got my integer and I'm setting it up as 0. Now what we're going to do is start our loop, but this time it's a different structure. We're telling it what to do first, then we're going to check the condition. So what I'm going to do here is do console.write line I equals, and I'm going to join that with concatenation there. Okay, I plus plus. I will explain what is happening here in a moment. Do not panic. And then we have our condition. So we're going to say while I is less than 5. Let me explain what is happening here. I have set up an integer, and I'll go back and fix that, called I, and I've declared it as 0. The next thing I'm going to do is I have what I want to happen inside the do braces, and this is our output, and this increases it by 1. And it says while it's less than 5. So if I run this now, you'll see what happens. Okay, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I kind of want this to count up to 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 1. And I'm going to say less than or equal to 5 because I want it to bring out the 5 as well. So we're going to start at 1 and we're going to say while I is less than or equal to 5. So let's look at the change here now. So now starts counting at 1. Now, in some cases, you may want to jump out of this loop. Say, for example, I'm going to say while it's less than or equal to 10. Okay, so I want you to start the count while it's less than or equal to 10. Watch what happens here. So this will run, and it should count up to 10. Perfect. But what I can do now is if I wanted to, part the way through this, I could say if I is greater than 5, what do I want to happen? Well, I want it to break. I want it to jump out of this loop. So now if the number is actually above 5, it's going to jump out of that loop. So let's run that. And you can see it's jumped out of that loop. So there are lots of different ways that you can carry out that do while loop. Now I'm going to show you how you can modify this so that when you run the program, it jumps out of asking questions. So we're going to do a guessing game in a minute. So watch the next video clip.